Welcome. I'm Alexis, and you are listening to RiaTalk, the official podcast of the Marrying Kind Inc., where we are always keeping it real in regards to love, families, and relationships with a biblical perspective. And here's your host, Maria. How you doing?
Hello.
So, I'm always the one bringing up some topics, but you've expressed that you wanted to get some things off your chest and talk about some things. So one of the things you brought to my attention are signs you know that your man is cheating on you.
Yes, women love. Hey, girls. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. I got to tell you some things. You're always wondering, how do I know when my man is cheating? What are the signs to know when my man is cheating? When you are asking those questions, you already know. You already know. Your intuition, your guts, already telling you. But just in case you put some earplugs on your guts and you ignore your gut, well, I'm going to show you some things. I'm going to tell you some things. Go ahead.
Okay, so you said there are you said some signs. So let's just break it down to like 5 signs that you could tell so it doesn't get too carried away. So what is one sign that you can tell that you already said one thing. If you're even questioning it, that's a sign.
It's number one. Right.
Okay. What's another sign that your man is cheating on you?
Another sign your man is probably cheating on you. He may not be, but there's a very high probability. If he is in the bed with you and he turns his back against you and go to sleep, he's always tired, not that interested in sex like he used to be. He's probably cheating. He is tired because he's getting his sex from somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So you may want to check out why we not doing it like we used to. Because he is doing it like he used to. He's just not doing it to you.
Now, what if you guys, you might not be sex machines, so you not doing it very often isn't a red sign necessarily. Does him turning his back also mean he's like emotionally unavailable,
It could be both, but more than emotionally, he's not available at all. Mm-hmm. Because his tensions is a high probability that his attentions are elsewhere. He's interested in somebody else. He's definitely not interested in you.
Okay, so we have, if you're questioning, that's already a sign. And if he is not facing you or turns his back to you in the bed, that's another sign. What is another sign that your man is cheating on you?
If he will not let you look at his phone, or you don't have passwords, he has secret Facebook accounts, Instagram account. When a person doesn't have nothing to hide, they don't hide nothing.
That's a good one.
If they are hiding their things, give me my phone. Don't be messing with my phone. Can I have something private? The answer is no. Why do you want to be private? Mm-hmm. Because you want to cheat and sneak. Mm-hmm. Maybe you might not be having sex. You want to be able to flirt. You want the girl. That's not good in marriage. That's not right. It is wrong, wrong, wrong. You shouldn't be hiding anything in your marriage.
So your man or your husband needs to have your password. That's what you're saying. Their password to your phone. Or should there not even be passwords on phones?
Yeah, it should be password because your phone can be stolen. Mm-hmm. But your spouse should have access to anything you have access to. Mm-hmm. Unless it's government material and you have government clearance, and you cannot give your wife access. And it goes both ways. I'm just saying wife for convenience. Mm-hmm. But it's to your husband too. Spouses should not be hiding things from each other. Secret accounts. Some spouses, that may be a sign of cheating too. Is that you either have a secret credit card or you have a secret account. You're cheating. Mm-hmm. If you're cheating nowhere else but financially. Mm-hmm. You're not letting your spouse know how much money you really make, how much money you really have. You got a bonus, but you don't want to share it with the family. Put it in the household account. Cheating.
Now, what if you get a bonus though, and you want to spend your bonus? You might necessarily want to spend all the bonus on the family because you put in those hard hours at the office, not your whole entire family. What if you want to?
No, that is wrong. From what you're saying is wrong. Mm-hmm. You didn't put in those hours, not your entire family. You're wrong.
Mm-hmm. And tell me how I'm wrong.
You're wrong. First, before I even get biblical on you, let me tell you. California is a community property state. all of your salaries, any monies you make, is community property. That means it goes to the family. Even the state recognizes that.
Even the bonus, though, a bonus.
Any money, bonus you make, community property. Only thing that's not community property, and I'm not trying to give people legal advice. I'm just showing you how important the family and the community, the team is. Even the government recognized the community. Now, God has said that way before the state of California said that. You're one. How can I hide something from my left eye from my right eye? My eyes is a part of my whole body. So teamwork make the dream work. Don't hide anything from each other.
But there was no teamwork when the person was when the husband or the wife was in the office and they're staying those late hours.
Yes, that's teamwork. When you got married, the fact that you're married is the teamwork. That is the team. So whenever you're thinking, she wasn't there when I was making those late hours, you're already wrong.
Because my husband wasn't helping with spreadsheets and helping put together stuff.
When you married him, you became one. So what you were doing, that was as if he was doing it. It's community. It's community property, community assets, bonuses and all. And I'm not just talking about the state, but the state's going to look. If you don't believe me, file for divorce and see if that was community property.
You can't ever have something that you got this bonus, you worked hard. You can't keep a little something so that you can buy something for yourself for your hard work?
No, not if you just choose it. The answer is no. But if you talk with your spouse and you guys decide together and you tell your spouse, hey, I want to keep some of this for myself. Talk to your spouse. Don't hide it. Don't do that. That's wrong. You're cheating. You're not being a person of integrity. You're a grown person. You want to keep all the money? Say you're going to keep all the money. I'm sure she's not going to beat you up or he's not going to beat you up about it, but you will be wrong. I tell you that. But no, the answer is no. Don't be selfish. Discuss it. Your spouse wants you to be happy. If you want some money, not even need it, if you want some extra money that will make you feel happy, secure, or for whatever reason you want it. When your spouse really loves you, they want what you want. They want you to be happy. So don't hide it. Your spouse will say, go, baby, go ahead and do something good for yourself. You've been working so hard. I want you to do whatever you need that extra. Go ahead. Don't hide it, though. Tell her. Tell him.
I feel like that's an ideal situation. I feel like most of the time it doesn't go down that way.
No, because most of the time people are selfish. People are greedy. You always talking about the me. You weren't there when I was doing. Yes. For example, my husband was in the Air Force for over 20 years.
Okay.
And the Air Force, or the military period, recognized after 10 years, half of the retirement pays of the active duty member will go to the spouse.
Okay.
If they get a divorce or if, something happens. And you say, oh, you weren't there when I was in Iraq. You weren't there when I was in Yemen or wherever the military sent you, Kuwait. Well, you weren't there when I had these kids at home holding it down for you. You weren't there when I was making sure all the bills get paid and still taking care of the house so you have a home to come back to. Yeah, you went to Kuwait thinking about you. But I'm home thinking about you, me, and the children, and the house, and the cars, everything. So you don't have to worry about that. You can focus on the mission.
Right.
Same thing in civilian life, just a different set of circumstances, but the same thing. Teamwork make the dream work. And when you are selfish enough to think about it in the I'm doing this. No, we are doing this. Everything, once you get married, everything you do is about we. We are doing this. Just because you right-handed, right-handed, you think, oh, my left hand's so lazy, it don't do nothing. I'm just going to cut it off because it's useless. And my right hand made this money, so I'm just cut my left hand may be bleeding, but my right hand's doing all the work for me because I'm a right-handed person. Symbolism. It's the same thing with the marriage. You are one. We do things together. Even though I may not be literally there, symbolically, I am there.
Right.
So please, if you really love your marriage and you believe what the Bible says, don't talk in the I and the me. Talk about the we and the us and the ours.
Okay. Okay, so what's another sign that that your man is cheating on you or your spouse is cheating on you?
When your spouse comes home, or he's always late. Here's a good one. He's always late, but he always has a good reason for it. Come on, girl. If he's always late or very often late, but he always has a good excuse, he's lying. You better check yourself or you be by yourself. And you don't have to run behind him. I'm not telling you, oh, he's going to leave me. He's already left you. He's cheating on you. The reason he ain't told you because he's getting a benefit.
Wait a second. So there's no good. What if there are some circumstances in where you run late? What is qualified as late where this will make you question if this person?
I didn't say that there's some circumstances where a person can't be late. Let it tell you, black people late all the time. I know the ones I know are often late. I hate to say it, we're buying into that stereotype, but many of us are late often. I'm not one of those people, but my point being, if your husband's always late coming home, watch the time he comes home and how often he does it. Everybody may be late sometime, but you 2, 3, 4 hours late coming home early in the morning. We stay late. That's when you know.
That's what I wanted to ask you. What constitutes as late? Is it 15 minutes? Is it 30 minutes? Is it an hour, 2 hours? What constitutes as late, which makes you send off that little red flag like, hold on, something's not kosher here?
Usually it's like 2 hours or more.
Okay.
2 hours or more. The person, but he does it often. Often. It's not just the time, it's how often. Or she. I had to work late. We had the meeting. Nobody meets that much except for the meet behind closed doors. That's what I mean, behind the closed doors.
Okay. And then another tip that you have?
I think that's it. That's number 5.
Those are.
There are many others.
No, I said 5, but I'm looking here at my notes, and it just says signs that your man is cheating on you. There's no set number, so if you want,
those are the things. I think I cut it off right there. I think there's many signs. The main sign is if you probably feel someone is cheating on you, and people say this about women, that women are intuitive. Humans are intuitive. God did not give anything to a woman as far as intuitiveness, like. Let's not get crazy about it. God made males and females. There's some uniqueness about us, but the way our brain is put together, God gives men and women their intuition. And some people exercise their intuition more than others. The more you exercise anything, it will get stronger.
Right.
If you feel a person is cheating on you, you're probably right. I say that more than anything. If you feel the person is cheating, and you have a duty to yourself to investigate. Don't be putting your head in the sand, saying, oh, I'm being paranoid. Relieve yourself of that paranoia. Investigate it. Search.
Trust but verify.
Trust but verify. And if the person is not doing anything, he's not going to get mad at you. If he starts getting mad and fighting and fussing, verbal. Let's hope it's verbal only. If he gets mad quickly when you question him, he's probably cheating. That's another sign, very high. If he's being defensive about anything you say or do, he's probably cheating on you.
So what do you do if you've gone through this list and you see that, people are listening at home or at the office, and they've checked off quite a few of these things here on your 5 signs that your man is cheating on you or your spouse is cheating on you. What should they do if they see these signs if they see these signs, what should they do?
What do you mean? What do they do?
I mean, do you need to confront it? Do you cut off the relationship? What if you do see these signs?
I would confront. You definitely got to confront your spouse because you could be wrong. They say if it quacks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, it's probably a duck. That's not necessarily true, but it probably is. You never want to think in the exception to the rule. Think the rule. If it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it probably is a duck. If he looks like he's cheating, if he's acting like he's cheating, you see some signs, he's probably cheating. To verify, to get your evidence, you need to investigate to make sure that you're not mistaken or many of us like to say, that you're not tripping.
How do you know that? I feel like there's a thin line between paranoia and investigating to see if your partner or your spouse is cheating on you. Am I wrong in that assumption, saying that there's a thin line between paranoia?
There is a thin line. There is a thin line. That's why you need to investigate. Don't just have question in your head and just have it in your head. Answer the question. If you're wondering about something and you don't have the answer, ask him. If he still has not given you a satisfactory answer, investigate it. And then you must decide, once you get your evidence, what am I going to do with this?
Right.
I confront him. If you confront a person, then some people don't confront because they don't want to make a decision.
Okay.
Once you find out that your spouse is cheating, it forces you to make a decision. That's why many people ignore it. They just like to drag it on. They know something's wrong, but they just don't want to go through the heartache of a divorce or a separation. But you owe it to yourself. Because if your spouse is cheating, it's not just about him having sex with somebody else. He's breached his contract with you. He's breached his contract and his pledge before God. And do you want to share your husband with someone else? If you do, then you guys can talk about it and you can renegotiate that contract. But most of us, especially those who follows the Christian faith and biblical principle, one man for one woman.
Right.
If you want other women, you need to be single. Even then, the Bible even talk about abstinence. But besides that, we're not talking about that today. I'm talking about one man to one woman being married, committed to your marriage, committed to God. Because when you make those vows, you're just not making those vows to each other. You're making a vow to God and to your community.
Okay.
So you've breached those vows. You violated your family, your wife. You've done it to the community. You've done it before God, to everybody.
I'm so confused. What does the community have to do this? I thought it's just between you guys, you and your vows and your family. How does the community fall into it?
When you have a wedding. That's why we have, actually marriage is twofold. It can be, sometimes people just have civil weddings. They just go to the courthouse, or they just get the paperwork and they get married, civil wedding.
Right.
If you get married, part of it requires that it be civil. That's the only way you can get a divorce, and that's the only way the law is going to recognize that you are married. You got to get some documents, some paperwork. So that's the agreement you make with the state of California, which is us, we the people of the state of California.
Okay.
We are the community. That you've told us that you want to be together, you pledging yourself to us. We as humans, we like to think that we're lone stars, that we make our decisions that only affects us. Rarely, if ever, do we make decisions that only affects us. What we do affects other people. It's just to various degrees. When you cheat, you destabilize your family because your wife is worried. You get in a fight and make her go to work late, make her not perform better because she's too much thinking about you. You're stressed out because you don't know, she may catch me. Right. You're messing up the family money. It's not good. And you may be bringing diseases on your wife, which is not right. It's not fair. It's not good. You're cheating. You don't know what that other person has. And you're going to bring that little nastiness into your family. She didn't agree to have sex with that woman. But when you have sex with another woman, you bring it into your wife, you're bringing all that other woman's bacteria. I don't care if you're washing it down. Some of that is still a part of your body. And you bring it in and forcing your wife to be connected to another woman. It's wrong. So
some people don't confront their spouse because they are afraid of it's such intense feelings. It may get physically violent. Do you suggest confronting your cheating spouse with having others around as like a kind of a strength and protection?
You can do it. It depends on how you feel about it. If you feel it's a safety issue, then you can do that. Sometimes to give you strength, you can do that. It's an individual decision how, but I do say to anyone, man or woman, don't hide your head in the sand and say this is not happening, because it's not going away. The more you ignore it, the longer it's going to last. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's a problem in the marriage that your spouse has been ignoring, and the only way that person feels that he or she can feel better is by having an affair. Maybe something's going wrong in the marriage. But if you guys confront it, you can go to counseling. You can recommit yourself, rededicate yourself to your marriage, and things can be better than ever. An affair doesn't have to end your marriage. It probably will, but it doesn't have to. I know many, many marriages where people have had an affair, and after they confront the problem that created that, mm-hmm. Not that the woman was wrong. You should never blame the person that did not cheat. You cheated because you made a decision. Yeah, there was a problem in the marriage. Instead of confronting the problem, you decided to go outside your marriage to get comfort.
Right.
So let's not get it twisted. We're not blaming the victim. Mm-hmm. Not that she is a victim, but you're not going to blame the non-perpetrating person or the non-cheating spouse. Mm-hmm. So you take full responsibility for your cheating ways, and then you address it. Say you're a man, you're feeling very guilty. Say you're a woman, you're feeling very guilty. You hear me right today. Mm-hmm. And you say you cheat. I'm cheating my spouse, and I'm a Bible believer, but I'm still cheating. I'm just not happy in my marriage. But I don't feel good about what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Stop it. I tell you now, stop it.
Should they stop it and then tell and confess to their spouse, or should they stop it and don't ever bring it up? It'll be a secret that they'll die with.
No secrets. Even if it causes your marriage to dissolve, mm-hmm. no secrets. Mm-hmm. You did it, own it. Mm-hmm. What's most important is your relationship with God. You can't change what you won't confront. If you hide and take it to the grave, you probably go in another relationship and cheat again. Because something made you cheat. You got to confront what caused you to cheat on your spouse. Mm-hmm. You can't change what you won't acknowledge. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's something in your inner child that was never healed, that was in your youth. And you need to confront that pain. You need counseling. But if you hide it, you will not be blessed and you will not be successful in your relationship.
Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it on that point. Please follow us on our Instagram account at I Am the Marrying Kind, or our Facebook page, The Marrying Kind Inc. And you can also listen to this podcast on Apple iTunes or the Google Music Play Store. And as well, we'd love to hear from you guys. So if you have some topics that you would like to suggest, please hit us up on our Instagram account. We're always interested to hear from you guys, to hear what you would like us to discuss. Okay, so this is RiaTalk, and we're ending it for this week. We are always keeping it real in regards to love, families, and relationships with a biblical perspective. And we will see you next week.